All right, you're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, and I guess I can go through this one more time, as I do just about every day. All right, so in 2023, the Nasdaq had this nice run here, and then it formed this cup with handle pattern. Okay, and then from May 10th to July 19th, it had about a 10-week run of about a 18% gain here. And what happened between July 19th and August, I want to say 23rd, maybe? It had a 9% retracement. So about a 50% retracement August 18th. Okay, so July 19th, August 18th, had 1 month of a retracement, which was 50% of this move. Okay, which is a normal garden variety pullback. Okay, 9%. So it made this low here on this pink rally day. And I said, if we traded below the low of this 13,161, you can see the low there, 13,161. You go below that and you're bearish. I would be bearish because we'd be making lower lows. Now we can see that the Nasdaq has been making higher lows here. It made a higher low here, made a higher low here, and today rallied through its 50 simple moving average. And I said, in between is no man's land, below is bearish, and above is bullish. So we had a follow through day today above the 50 simple moving average, which is nice coincidence, right? 238% gain, 1.74% on volume above the prior day's volume, which constitutes a follow through day. Now, typically on a follow through day, the rule is to buy something that's to change your mindset from being negative and the market's choppy and I can't do anything right. And every time I trade something, it's a losing trade. You just get into this you have a pity party. You can't do anything right. Well, but when we buy something here and the market follows through, usually something good happens. So that's why, and we got to be more aggressive with our mindset, increase exposure to the market, and it's kind of like a snowball effect, right? When good things happen, you tend to get more aggressive. So hopefully, you weren't out of the market completely, and the things that you did hold, if you were holding some of the stuff I had on my ready list, like NVIDIA and Google and those Visa and those type of things, they did well. ELF is on our leading stock list, Celsius, Amazon, ANET, Novo Nordisk, which I'll get to in a minute. But anyway, you just want to add exposure. At least that's what I did when the market had a follow through day today. And so I can go to the S&P 500 index, and you can see it had it rallied through its 50 again. Same business here. The volume was higher than the prior day's volume. So yes, the S&P had a follow through day as well. But I don't trade indexes. I'm not interested in indexes. It does help to have the tailwinds of the index. It makes it so much easier to trade in stocks and traffic in quality stocks when the index is your tailwind instead of a headwind. Anyway, I wanted to point out Tesla here because on this pink rally day, made a low, and then on this Monday here, it had this bullish island reversal. I pointed this one out, and this one continues to have higher lows as well. Today made a way higher high, and you can see it's bumping its head up against that 257 level, 257.01, which is the 50 simple moving average. That's definitely an area to watch. If you own Tesla or you're trying to get into Tesla, I like it above the 257. And we'll just have to wait and see after hours. It's just kind of going back and forth. But we'll see in the next couple of sessions if this can power through here, the 50 simple moving average. And, this looks like a nice little base here. That's definitely looking like a bottom there. And then the bullish island reversal. Some people call it the abandoned baby, but I hate that term. So it's a bullish island reversal, which usually reverses, hence the term reversal. It reverses the trend from going lower, the trend trades higher. So that's all. NVIDIA, this is one that's been on our ready list. And I mentioned the move from 403 to 502, 100-point move, and then they have earnings and people expect it to keep going higher. So it just pulled back, to its 21, found support. kind of a buy the rumor, sell the news. I kind of think the options market probably had a little something to do with holding this thing back. But it's been on our watch list, and to me, 480.88 is the buy point in this ascending base pattern. And anywhere for me within $20 either way, 460 to 500, to me, that's all game. So I did buy that one today. You can do whatever you want, your big boys and girls. You can click the mouse just as easily as I can, but definitely added to NVIDIA. Now that one's my largest holding once again. And people ask me, why did I sell it? Because it went below the 50. It sliced its 50, then traded below it, and then kind of traded around it for a while. But I can always buy it back, and that's my philosophy of because I don't know how low it's going to go once it goes below it. Could have come down to the 200, but it didn't. So it came back above, and so that's just my philosophy. You can do whatever you want. That's just what I do. Okay, I'm going to go to Google because there's another one on my ready list, performing beautifully. I should be showing the weekly charts on these, sorry. But you can see the consolidation now and breaking out of this here this week. The 127.10 was the buy point we had for this one. And Google's king. I mean, king of the internet. And this one was up on volume today, nearly 3%. So a nice move here for the Google. So I went to Tesla, NVIDIA, Google. I got to go to Amazon because these are the best of the Magnificent Seven. These four, how do I know? Because they're above the 50. This one traded, came down to the 50 and bounced nicely. 1.3% today. Apple, I kind of like Apple too. It looks like it made a bottom, is now just forming a base here, and they're going to announce their what is it, iPhone 15 Pro or something here soon. So probably get a little boost from that. But definitely one of the stronger stocks. And I haven't even checked in on Meta, bumping up just like Tesla, bumping up against its 50 simple moving average there, 298.55. It's amazing how that happens. All right, I'm going to get out of the mega cap tech stocks. We know they drive the indexes. But I want to look at some stocks that I own and that are on our leading stock list. And this one's been performing beautifully. I talk about it, I think, every day. And that when it pulled back to its 50 here, it was just acting in character, and it does it every couple of months, right? This time it found support and blasted higher, 9%. So people ask me, is that the chart that's telling you that or the news? Well, it went up on news today. ELF bought Natarium for $355 million. It's an all stock and cash deal. Obviously, Wall Street liked it because it responded favorably. And now that 137.48, it needs to take that out here in an awkward looking kind of base. But it's going to be 50%. No, it's going to double their skincare products revenue. So that's significant because it is a skincare company. And also it's going to be this new company, Natarium, is going to be 18% of sales. So and it's going to be accretive next quarter, because the deal closes September 30th. So it's a big deal, and it's going to add to, like I said, 18% of total sales. So a $355 million deal for a $7 billion market cap company. Wall Street thinks ELF did really well with that acquisition today. Normally, when you acquire a stock, the stock goes down because you're taking on, more risk, more debt, or whatever. But they paid all cash and all, a cash stock deal. So good for ELF. Anyway, it closes September 30th, so we'll be accretive to the last quarter, Q4 earnings there. All right, a couple of other, I'm going to get into the retail stocks because I love retail. This is Celsius. This one today was up more than 3%. Another Nielsen data point came out today. I think they come out every 2 weeks showing that Celsius is taking market share. Obviously, the power of Pepsi is getting this more shelf space. It's getting in, it's taking market share in North America, although I don't think it's in Canada yet, but they are expanding international. I believe less than 2 or 3% of their sales our international sales. So this has a long way to go for growth. I think Monster has 35 or 40% international sales. So Celsius has 2 or 3. I don't know. At some point, Pepsi's probably going to just buy this thing out and be done with it. Somebody asked me about COCO, and I totally whiffed on the question. I think it was last week or so. But I do mention COCO from time to time, and I do like this stock. And I think you just put it like your thumb over this day right here, where it had earnings and then spiked up to $30 and then came back the next day to 23. But you can see this is just consolidating in a nice base and then trading sideways along its moving averages. And it's got, triple digit earnings growth, strong, accelerating sales growth. So I like this stock. This one will be on our watch list starting tomorrow. And thank you, whoever brought that to my attention. I believe it was Mike. But I do show this stock. I just haven't had it on my watch list, and I like it around that 27.50 area. What is it now? 28.24. So it's still, for me, it's something that I like, and I would definitely be ready to purchase. Another one in the retail space. This is a China base, and I got to be honest, I don't know anything about this company. I just like the chart. I put it on the watch list on the weekend, and it just so happened that it did have a nice little breakout here. This week's up, almost 11%. So that's a nice breakout from that. It did break out, then it pulled back to its moving average, and now it's really starting to move. So congrats to the longs there. It's getting a little extended, obviously, here. It's 11.8% above its 10 EMA, but very strong stock. So MNSO, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the stores. I hear they have them here in the United States, but I'm a sheltered person, so I don't shop at MNSO. But obviously, the stock is doing well. I mentioned coal this morning. The last couple of mornings, coal has been spiking. The coal itself, the price of the commodity. So you got to watch the stock when that happens. And this is a AMR making a new high today of 204.55. You can see the long consolidation here. And I'm not really a big commodity person, but I do take notice of it. This type of stuff is, the commodities are a little bit inflationary. I don't like to see them do well, but, just taking notes, right? Taking notes of what's going on in the market. This is a Console Energy, CEIX, and this one has a nice consolidation base pullback and then blasting higher. And now it's just along with its moving higher with its moving averages here. You can see support at the 10 there a couple times. So definitely a strong stock. I'm going to get out of the coal anyway. I'm going to go to the semiconductors because I like the semiconductors, and I always ask, can we have a legitimate rally without semiconductors? Semiconductors and software are going to be big parts of that artificial intelligence theme. And if we're going to have this rally here, this new bull market, these guys are going to have to play along, I think. And SMH, this is the exchange traded fund for the semiconductor index, and it rallied through its 50 today. It looks a little bit like the Nasdaq there. Anyway, I did show you NVDA. I got to go to AMD because it's part of that cohort. It's just really a laggard. The only good thing I can say about this chart is it filled this gap here, but it's definitely trending lower. You can see the 10, 21, and the 50 trending lower. You don't want to see that. AMD's got to turn it around. ACLS, this one is going to be on my ready list as well. This one, traded below the 50 and rallied above. We've seen this a lot lately. And I'm going to say that this base here, this is a nice looking base, according to me. I think that's a nice base here. And now that it rallies above its 50, I think that 201 is in play. So that's just me. If I didn't own it, I wouldn't be shy about buying it. But like I say, you're all big boys and girls. You make the decisions yourself. I kind of like that one. And Applied Materials, they had an outstanding report, and they ramped higher and then just pulled back to the 50. And today it was up 3%. So being supported at moving averages is really good for the stock. And if you just take a step back, you can see that it's just kind of grinding higher. Yeah, it had this little consolidation, just grinding higher. So Applied Materials to me looks pretty good. AVGO, I'm just going to include this because it's one of the big ones, and this one pretty similar, traded below its 50, now rallied above. Speaking of which, AEHR. This has got to be like a swing trader's dream. I just can't do it though. Only 8% move today. Traded below its 50, now has rallied back above it. But if you're a swing trader, you can just sell these highs and buy these lows, and when it ramps up, you sell. When it pulls back, you buy. When it ramps up, yeah, and just keep doing it over and over again. But if you're a long-term holder, I mean, this thing has done nothing but good things here in 2023, right? I mean, I'm not going to get to how much it's up this year, but it started the year there at $20, and now it's at 48. So you can do the math there. That one's doing well. All right, I'm going to get to the data center stocks, and somebody commented to me that VTR. Yeah, come on. BRT, dummy, is tired. It's a tired stock. It's not doing anything. It was only up 1.4% today. No, it's just extended. That's all. It's not going to go up, 5% every day. And it's really getting extended from that green line, this 10 EMA. So, gapped up on earnings, pulled back to the 10. Now it's pulling away from it, and it's going to have to come back. And as long as it's green and pink and magenta and red line, whatever you want to call it, as long as those are trending higher, this thing's, I don't see any sell signs. I don't think it's tired. It's just, it's going up on lighter volume, which you don't want to see, but it's, if it pulls back to its 50, I mean, it'll probably be supported. I mean, first things first, let's just see if it can pull back to its 10. It's 7.1% above its 10. So it's just trending higher along its 10 EMA. This thing is not tired. It's doing nothing wrong. Perfectly fine. SMCI, this one that I had to, part ways with once it sliced its 50 after the earnings report. And then it just kind of traded sideways. Didn't do anything wrong here. It made this low, and now it's making, let's go to the weekly here. It's making higher lows here. It looks like it's starting to trend higher again. It's at 261 today. I believe I sold around 270 on this day right here. It doesn't matter where I sold, it doesn't matter. But it did trade up against its 50 right here today, and then got rejected and closed near the 40% of the closing range of the daily range. Okay, so it's in the lower half of the daily range on a day where the Nasdaq, closed near the top and was up, 1.75%. So not a real good day for SMCI, even though it was up 2.5%. But we'll see if it can trade through that 50 now. And okay, anyway, more data center and construction stocks is Sterling. This one, it was up today. Okay, I thought it was down, but it finished up, and it's just kind of like a Vertiv. It's just trending with its 10 EMA here after blasting off from earnings. This one is a lot closer to its 10 EMA than like 2.3%. So it's trading a little closer to the its moving averages, which is good on, it's good for people who like calmer stocks. It's a little calmer stock. Speaking of calm stocks, PWR, Quanta Services, this one I liked. It's on our ready list there at the 206.43. This is a nice flat base pattern, or a shelf, if you will, and it's being supported by its moving averages. Quanta looks excellent to me. And then Caterpillar pullback. I got to look at the weekly. This is a nice breakout here. Drove higher after earnings and just pulled back here with lighter volume, way lighter volume, after that earnings report, and just pulled back to a moving average and light volume. And you can see this on the daily here. That's real light volume here. Today, little uptick in volume, but still 2% move is in lighter volume. But I like Caterpillar. I'm going to go through the HVAC stocks quickly because I do it every day, and they're just trending higher, doing nothing wrong. This is Comfort System Fix up 1.66% today. MOD, it's flat, which is good. It allows the moving averages to catch up when they just trade flat. It doesn't matter if the index is up or not. This is Linux LII bouncing off its moving average there. See, this is why coming back to the moving average gives people opportunities. So it's not all bad. They're not going to go straight up every day. CARR, same thing. Pull back to the moving averages, and then a nice move today. So, all right, let's move on to the drugs. I got to get to the drugs because it's driving me crazy with this, political. I don't like political BS, but I think it was misconstrued today. This is Lilly just showing strength and trending higher. Another one that I wanted to show was an NVO because this was up a lot today. What was it? 1.54%, nearly $3. One of their drugs was included in the Biden administration 10 drugs to negotiate with Medicare for elderly 55 or over, 65, I don't know, whoever has Medicare. But the thing is that Ozempic is their weight loss drug, which is not covered by Medicare, which is very expensive and people pay out of pocket. The administration says this will be included next year. So it's very positive for Novo Nordisk to have that drug included in Medicare. They want this thing to be included in Medicare because then the people who are on Medicare can actually afford the drug, whereas now they can't because you're paying out of pocket. I mean, some people can, a lot of people can, but a lot of people can't. So it opens up that drug to just way more clients for Novo Nordisk. So it was viewed as a positive, even though the whole thing was viewed as a negative for the pharmas, but it's okay. I mean, it's okay. If you're taking medication or on Medicare, you probably appreciate lower drug prices. Bristol Myers was one that was mentioned today, and it got a little bit of a boost on that news because it's been expected. It's been in the works for a long time, so now it finally comes out. Merck had a drug in there that was this has been expected for a long time. So it was you've heard of buy the rumor, sell the news. Now the news comes out, and hey, we buy the news, right? It was just priced in. It was priced in essentially. Anyway, that's enough with the drugs. I lied. ANIP. This one up today. ANIP Pharmaceuticals. What was the deal? Oh yeah, it got a drug approved from the FDA. Estradiol gel, I guess it's called, and it's for hot flashes. So it's perceived as a positive, right? Anytime you get FDA approval. So anyway, I'm going to move on from the drugs and go to the software names, some software that I like. Splunk, I mentioned this one. This one's not to be ignored. And when you see breakouts that work, they follow through the next day and the next day, we've got 4 days here of gains. That's positive. This normally doesn't happen in a bearish market. Normally that initial gap would have been sold off, if it was a different type of market. So that's one indicator. 13% move followed up by 3%, followed up yesterday by 1% today. So good for Splunk. That one looks good. And then MicroStrategy, which is sold off hard recently. This is, a correction. The Nasdaq corrects. Your growth stocks are going to correct 2 or 3 times the Nasdaq. And this one traded right up to its 50 today. So, and another one that I got to get to is Datadog. This one sold off with earnings. Even though it was upgraded, it still can't get above its 50. But anyway, that's it for today, except for I got to honor the great Steve Jobs and say one more thing. I have not included, some people ask me about VFS. I haven't included this in any of my lists or anything. I stay away from stuff like this. This is a SPAC. It just ran up on, I don't know, Reddit people, or I don't know, some funds get together and run this thing up. Had a market cap of, I think it was bigger than all the auto stocks. It's a Vietnamese automaker, and it ran up as big as all the automakers except for Toyota and Tesla. And today, this is why you don't get involved. You know, it's down 44% today, down 5% after hours. You just got to stay away from this stuff. It's too hot. I mean, sure, if you want to buy it and trade it in a day, but man, you got to be nimble. And it's too risky for me. I'm not going to mention this on my site at all. But I did want to get to something more positive, and that's PVH, which is Philip Van Heusen, once again, back to the retail. And this one, they reported a good quarter. They beat and they raised their earnings forecast going forward. So it's up more than 2% after hours. This is the Tommy Hilfiger Calvin Klein brand. And you can see it's corrected with the index. You know, most stocks do. But now with a good earnings report, you know, maybe it can rally back through the 50. That's something that I'm watching for. Anyway, I always like to see retail stocks do well. Speaking of which, I mentioned Splunk, Abercrombie and Fitch blasted up 23% on earnings and slid a couple of days here, and now today rallied back up. So that's nice to see a 3% move. Anyway, this time I'm serious. I'm done, and we never give up. Thank you for watching.